tilt it a little that way. I feel like that's about as good as it's going to get. All right, everybody, what are we reviewing today? Well, not my Pixel 7 because, I've already got that. We're going to do an unboxing and see how we like the new Pixel Fold. So what I'm going to do is try to open this carefully because who knows, I may not like it and may want to return it. So, all right, it's got these pull tabs. I was going to, open it with a blade, but apparently I don't need to. It's got these little pull tabs. So let's open this up, check out the form factor, fire it up, and see how we like it. So I got it in Obsidian Black, 256 gigabyte. These go for $1,800. I took advantage of their 0% financing. I know I'll just get a commission check and just pay it off, but I figured for interest-free, why not? It's like borrowing money for free. So what do we got? We got the phone here. We'll unwrap that in a minute. There's going to be like a little welcome package thing here. We got data cables, an OTG, or no? What is that? Well, I guess it can be used as an OTG. Don't need the manuals for now. Feels like there's something in there. What is in there? Let's see what we got. I'm sure one of them will have a sim tool and... Come on. How did I get that shit out of there? Well, you know what? That's where we use the knife. So let's see what we have got. Or is that really nothing in there? Is that just there to provide some kind of structure? That's probably what it is. I'm sure in here there'll be a sim tool or something. There's got to be a sim tool somewhere. It's not there. Let's see. Foldable screen care, blah, blah, blah. Do not remove the pre-installed screen protector. Okay, I won't. So where is the sim tool? Well, that is just one of life's little mysteries. I guess we'll have to figure out unless they slid it in there. But I think these are just boxes in there to keep that rigid structure in there. It doesn't feel like there's anything in there. So, all right, well, we'll figure out where the sim tool is. Of course, I could be, I could go and, open the damn manual, but it doesn't feel like it's in there. Oh, wait, yes, it does. I can feel it. It's right there, this little piece of metal. All right, cool. So let's carefully unwrap this and see what we think. So let's carefully peel that away, just in case I decide I want to return it. I'll say weight-wise, I mean, it's heavier than the Pixel 7. It's noticeably heavier, but it's not terribly heavy. I like the size so far. I played with at Best Buy the Samsung Fold. Now I used to have a Z Flip 4 before I got this. That's kind of cool because it's just a normal size. It's the Samsung tends to be very narrow and very tall. And so when you open it up, it looks nice. And when you put it in tablet mode, it feels more like a traditional tablet. But it's definitely a little skinny and tall to use, one-handed. And because everything's squished this way, it just doesn't feel as functional as a phone. It looks more like, okay, you're using it for basic notifications and send a text. But anytime you want to really use the phone, you're going to have to open it up. So let's open that up. Opens up nice and flat. Nice. Screen looks good. Yes, you can see the seam. Don't worry about that crap. Everybody that's like, oh, it's got a seam down the middle. It doesn't matter. Once you use the phone for half an hour, that just, especially when the screen's on, it just goes away. So the hinge feels nice. See if we can get, I don't know how good this camera's going to focus up close. This is my Insta360 because I wanted to have side by side. Normally I would have done it with the Pixel because I don't get incredible video, but here I'm using that for, like a size comparison. So let's just take this out of the case so that we get a true apples to apples before we turn it on and start setting it up and all that good stuff. So what we've got here is a very similar camera hump, although we do have an extra camera. The cameras on this are not the 7A cameras. They're actually an upgraded version, I believe, of the Pixel 7 Pro. So this should have the best cameras that a Pixel has ever had. It's definitely a step up from everything that I'm reading. And Pixels tend to have the best camera quality anyway for pictures. Samsung is right there with them, and Apple is right there with them. To be fair, Apple seems to be a little bit better in the video department, but Google has a little bit of a special sauce when it comes to image processing for pictures, and they usually seem to eke out a win. As far as thickness, now this is what's kind of cool. When you lay it on the table, it is a little thicker. It feels like it's about 2.5 millimeters thicker, but it's actually smaller, top to bottom. So as far as fitting in your pocket and not having it stick out, that's going to be a little nicer. It's not a small phone, but when you think about how thick, a modern smartphone is, let's look at it from the bottom, because the camera hump is obviously going to add to that. But when you come in here and look at that, yeah, it's thicker, definitely thicker. But considering you have a full-size, really nice usable screen, and then you crack that bad boy open, and now you've got a tablet and you can prop it up and do other things with it. So we'll go through here and play with this. So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to fire it up. Hopefully it's got enough battery charge. Get rid of my notifications real quick while we're waiting on that. Everyone's wishing me happy birthday, so my stuff's going to be blowing up as I'm doing this. The Pixel 7's got an amazing screen. It's the 120 hertz, I believe, OLED. It's absolutely fluid. It's just got a really, really nice display. Nice cameras. I got this off of Amazon. It was on sale. I got the 256 gigabyte version for like $4.99. It's a flagship phone. It's a phenomenal phone. People say, well, the Tensor G2 is not as good for gaming. I have a really nice $3,500, gaming PC. If I don't include monitors and stuff, it's $3,500. So it's like if I'm playing games, I'm playing on that. I'm not a phone gamer. I'm not playing cheesy little phone games. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. So connect to mobile network. We'll do that later. Let's see. Let's look for, I guess I can blur stuff out so you're not reading my credentials and all that stuff. So let's get on that. Yeah, I'll blur all this out. Okay, now we're getting ready, device ready. That'll be my Spectrum app telling me, hey, something new has just logged into my my Wi-Fi. That's all right. Looks like the battery's mostly charged up right out of the gate, so that's pretty good. So let's see, we get our device ready here. Going to copy apps and data. Great. I don't want to use the old device. So, or should I? This might be a good, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's use the old device. Let's see how this works. I have never done it this way. I usually just log into Gmail and all my shit just copies over wirelessly. But let's go ahead and, all right. Find your old device's cable. All right, let's go ahead and plug that in. Oh, that's kind of cool. Check your other device. Copy data. Sure. I will say that's one thing with the Pixel. The fingerprint recognition it can be iffy. It doesn't work as quickly and as reliably as Apple's Face Unlock. So yeah, I give credit to Apple where it's warranted. All right, getting ready to copy. So I guess that's going to copy over everything, account, settings, all that good stuff. So that's pretty cool. So we'll let that do its thing here. Maybe if it's boring, I'll go ahead and speed that up. Oh, I just got a new email from Google Pixel. Hey, Dave, let's set up your Pixel Fold. Way ahead of you, Googles. While we're waiting for that to do its thing, we got our Benchmade Shootout with crewware steel. Very, very nice OTF. Although the knife I've been carrying the most lately, even over my Spyderco's, something about this Hogue. Probably shouldn't be doing this over the screen in case I drop it, but love this S30V blade. And the ergonomics on this, go watch my review on this, are just freaking spot on. It's just a great all-around pocket knife. All right, so it seems like it's copying. We'll probably, I'll go ahead and speed this up, or we'll crop it out. How's that? We'll just crop it out and come back when it's done. All right, we are almost there. Copying's done. Done. Close. Okay, we're good. See what has to happen here. But it looks like I will be able to boot this thing up. Start playing with it. I want to see the screen, get into some of the settings and all that kind of stuff. So, one of the things I really like is the notification system that you have here in Android. I like the way the settings menus and everything are laid out very logically. There's a lot of stuff with iOS that I just don't like. I love their MacBooks. I mean, the quality of their stuff, the quality of the iPhones are excellent, but it's just such a very limiting type of experience to me. Swipe up to go home. All right. So here we are. And so it's installing all my apps and setting everything up. So it's actually mirroring the one phone from the other. So turn up the brightness. I'm going to turn off auto brightness. I like to just kind of set it where I like it. But this is awesome so far. The screen looks excellent. Let's see, what's the brightness on this one? So I've got that up almost all the way. So let's do the same here. Let's turn that up. Does that look about the same? Get them both updated. And it even changed my settings up here. If you notice before, the battery wasn't set for percentage, but because the old one was, so it literally like brought everything over. So that is wild. So, all right. Very cool here, very fluid. Welcoming to the new Pixel Fold, and you can see what's new and all that stuff. But notice here, I mean, this is just awesome. So what I'm going to do now is, okay, it's still installing apps and things. So what I'm going to do is go down and go to, let's go to our display settings. So brightness level is 90. I don't want adaptive brightness on. Good, it remembered that from the old phone. Screen timeout's good. Dark theme, everything's good. Colors adaptive. Or I could go at natural. Adaptive looks kind of cool. So we'll do that. Smooth display. So it raises the refresh rate from 60 up to 120 hertz. All right, cool. I guess that was brought over from the other setting as well. So that's still installing in the background. Let's go down to About Phone. And let's see. Let's go to Android version. All right, we on the latest security update. IMIE. Okay, I still have to put a SIM card in there to get on the network. There's a couple other things like work-related stuff I need to set up here. But it looks like, let's see, Google system update says there is an update available. Installation paused when it isn't being used. So, because, well, I'm on mobile. That's what I want to do. It looks like it's just a small security update. So I'm going to let it finish doing what it's doing up here. It's installing all my apps. So what I need to do is go start setting everything up. So far, as far as the apparent quality, I mean, when you look at the back, this is a fingerprint magnet. You get smudges, it's shiny, and all that. This has that new Gorilla Glass Invictus 2 or some kind of stuff like that. It's got a really, really nice matte kind of finish that's still slick. It still feels good. but it doesn't really leave fingerprints and smudges, unless you got grease on your hand where you're leaving oil behind. The camera bump is nice. It goes across the entire back, so it doesn't sit flat front to back. It angles it ever so slightly at you, but what it doesn't do is it doesn't rock left to right. So that was a problem, like when you have iPhones or some of the Samsungs, the one corner's humped up, so the phone sits at an angle like that, and it allows it to kind of rock. Here, at least, it's straight across, and when you're holding it, instead of it sliding, you have a place to rest your finger. This is going to go in a minimalist, really thin case because I don't want to add any bulk to this. I'm going to put the glass protector over this as well as on the front. And yeah, this is going to be, I think, a really cool phone. So I would imagine that I'm going to use it most of the time in the manner that you see here. I'm just going to use it as a normal phone like I would here. But then when I want to watch a YouTube video, when I want to watch Netflix, when I want to do something like that, in fact, let's just go here to YouTube. And let's Galaxy Watch 6 battery drama. Blair White, what's she talking? Well, he, whatever. It's a trans activist, but a conservative trans woman, which you don't see a lot. All right. So looking at this. Yeah.
Check out port 1. I am going to leave a link down in the description, and there will most
Speakers sound good.
pop up a link now where you can go and check out port 1 first before you continue watching port 2. So in part 1, we covered most of our preparation in our epoxy table build, and moving on to part 2, we are almost done building our mold.
That's where you're going to use this. When you're typing something out, when you want to watch a video, you can open it up and have the bigger screen. You can also do a split screen and things like that, where you can have work email here but be watching Netflix over here, or split screen it, vertical. I like the fact that with this hinge, I could get out of full mode here, and I can scroll. I could be watching up here and sitting here scrolling. Yeah, we're going to play with this. This is just the unboxing video. I'm going to get this all set up and tweaked, and I'll do some more of an overview of how it all works.
Moving on to the
Whoa,
next
that's
step,
loud.
we are going to apply some mold release.
Sounds really goddamn good, though.
Inside of our mold. And this is just
Those are probably some of the best speakers I've ever heard on a phone. And they should be. It's a phablet. You got basically extra room to put those speakers. But that is definitely, I mean, it's beautiful to look at. I like being able to see this down here. There is a way, I think if you do this is where I can then have, well, I can hit a screenshot and do stuff, but I can basically come in here. Well, I guess I can do picture in picture, and I can move that around. This is so neat. I can close that if I want, move it up there, whoops, and then do something else, be sitting here reading news down here. This is really neat. Do that, Apple. Do that on your phone. We're back. I guess I'll put this all in the same video. Now that I've got this thing set up, this thing is brilliant. It's really smooth. The screen is gorgeous. I mean, the music sounds good. God damn, that's loud for a phone. Works awesome. I've already paired it up with my Pixel Buds Pro, which, by the way, these things are just absolutely amazing. I really like the what's the Apple iPods? There's too many i somethings. The iPods Pro, those are really good. I actually prefer this slightly better. The reason being the way they fit in your ears. They don't kind of hang out. It goes, instead of this dangling out, it goes up, and so this goes in your ears. It's saying, hey, you want to activate your oh yeah, let's go ahead and, what was that? Activate. Just a second. Google Assistant, sure. Yeah, turn on. Next. All right. Let's see. What is my music? Agree. More. Agree. Turn on. Go away. All right, cool. Now, anyway, the way these fit in your ears, but then also these flat surfaces here are actually for controlling it. So you can sit there and you can tap, you can slide up, down, forward, and back, and it'll fast forward, rewind, up and down volume. It's all gestures. It's almost like having little tiny touch screens on them. It's really kind of cool. All right, so anyway, plus there's actually a lot of really good settings when you go into the Pixel Buds Pro. So, all right, yep, those are all charged. We're good to go. Pop one out. It'll automatically connect. And of course, just like you have your noise cancellation, transparency, find your device, it'll actually check the ear seal for you to tell you if you got the right size cushions and stuff. Spatial audio, I mean, all your stuff here. This is a top-notch set of buds. These are sick buds. Anyway, so back to this. So I've been using it a little bit. I have put on a dome glass as well as Easy Fit optic on the back. So we have our screen protected. It dropped on perfect the first time. And let me tell you, I typically go through like 5 or 6 shields before I get one that works. And the reason being, I got 5 goddamn dogs. And I love my dogs, as annoying as they are sometimes. Just like kids. People get on me and they're like, I can't believe you're complaining about your dogs barking during your videos. That's so horrible. It's like, shut up, dude. You have kids, you love your kids, but you know what? There's times when they're acting up and running around and being a fool. And your kids, you love them. You would never get rid of them. But man, they annoy the piss out of you. It's no different with dogs. Anyway, shut up. So I've got the glass on the front. I've also got the lenses on the back are all now protected. I've got spares of both. Both of them went on without me getting a piece of dust or hair underneath and a bubble. That is unheard of for me. So I either got really lucky doing the front and the back. That normally does not happen to me. Both of these have like these cool little plastic applicators that help you line it all up and just press it on, and they just work. Same thing with the other ones. So, been playing with it a bit, and I gotta say, I really like it. I mean, you open it up, you have access to everything. It's a nice, big, beautiful screen. I know some people are like, oh, you know, on these foldables, they got these creases in them. Honestly, you don't see it. I mean, if I turn it, I can see the light shimmer at a certain angle. But honestly, as you're sitting here using this, you know, if I want to go into Gmail and I've got my emails here, it's nice to be able to click on it and then the email opens on the other side so I can scroll down without losing sight of everything else. I mean, it's a really cool setup. It's nice having that second screen. You also have the ability, I think if you swipe up or you, let me see, what was it? If you were here and you swipe up and it says, hey, do you want to do more with taskbar? You can start to set things up the way you want. You can go in and say, no, give me this over here and then YouTube over here. So I can sit there banging out an email or something while I'm actually watching a YouTube video. It's actually really, really cool. There's a lot of neat things you can do. Most of the time, I'm going to probably use this phone like a regular phone. It really is going to be around media consumption. What I like, unlike the Z Flip 4 that I had, which was a great phone, and now the new 5 looks even better, it folds flat. The biggest problem with a foldable, in my mind, is not the fact that the screen's there or that it has the little crease. Who cares? You're watching it, once you're looking at it at a certain angle and you're watching a video, you do not see that. What was I doing? Oh, because I didn't unlock it. Anyway, there we go. You just don't notice it after a while, and people get all bent out of shape and stuff because like, oh, it ruins the aesthetic. It's not a conversation piece. It's a goddamn phone. It's a media consumption device. And the fact that I can walk around with a relatively thin phone that sits in my pocket, and I have great cameras. I got a whole bunch of nice cameras on the back. I've got a really nice screen on the front. It works like a normal phone, just like anything else. But then when someone's like, hey, you got to check out this video, or I'm sitting there and I want to watch a movie, well, now I got a real freaking screen. I got a 7-inch or something like that. I mean, it's basically like having an iMac or an iPad mini that folds into, you know, a regular sized iPhone. It's a really nice thing that they've done here. Now, I'm going to put it in a case. And I got some cases right here we're going to review real quick. Let's see which ones we got. A couple of them off Amazon that were pretty cheap. What is this one? New? Does it have the name of it? Or is this just one of those made in China cheap cases? I got a couple because I never know which ones I'm going to like. So, but I wanted minimalist. I don't want, it's got an adhesive strip on that, so we can just snap that on. I have a feeling I know which one I'm going to end up going with. I will put links to all of these, so that's good. It doesn't interfere with the camera thing. It doesn't have too much of a bump, and that's the thing. You get the ones that like really protect the camera, but then they stick way out. So that one is just it's very smooth. It's got a nice little bit of gription. This edge moves a little bit, but if I were to take that strip off, that adhesive strip, and stick it there, that'll keep it in place. Doesn't interfere with it opening all the way, so that's good. Yeah, nice. So, yeah, that's some cheap little case. I don't know which one I'm going to like. We're going to go to this one. I have a feeling it's going to be this one. That's the one I've heard really good reviews, and it's really small and slim, but that mounts on there. I mean, it moves a little bit, but that adhesive strip would keep that lip down. The other side, it's got more of a grip. I don't know why the difference between the side that has a screen versus the one that does. Well, I guess it's because it only has the perimeter, whereas this doesn't want to flex and move as much because you only have a small piece missing. Structurally, you got a lot more material there. So let's go ahead and pop that off. It does pop off pretty easily. So without the, and actually even that one pops off pretty easily. I don't know that I would use that one. All right, we're going to open the Jet Tech. Let's see what this one is all about. Then we're going to go for the Pataki. I don't know. That one looked kind of cool. Although I did hear good things about the Jet Tech. So let's see. I just dropped something on the floor. Hopefully it's just product warranty. Does anybody ever warranty a case? When you pay $25 off for a case on Amazon. All right, so this one's nice because it's actually held together. It is one piece. That thing also gives you a shield. It's TPU, it feels like, yeah. A little bit of a harder plate there. Oh, that might be interesting. So let's see. Let's just snap that bad boy in. So that snaps in like that, and then this would go around and snap in. Huh. The Jet Tech. That is... Okay, so does it not... Let's turn that off. Why is it entering my PIN? Sometimes it does that. Android does that every once in a while. All right, so yeah. So that one actually, so that one's nice. It's got this little hinged piece there. I may end up using this one. This is a nice, I like that a lot. That one I do not believe has a, it doesn't have a adhesive strip, but it kind of doesn't need it. I mean, that moves, that does move a little bit. I'm going to look, is there an adhesive strip in here somewhere? Because that would be nice, actually. While it doesn't come off because it's anchored here in the corners, that kind of annoys me a little bit. So would I use that? I don't know. I might use it. I have a feeling I'm going to use the other one. And I think I probably have another one on order. But if that one had, see, it's just so thin there, that piece just flops around. On this side, it takes a lot more pressure to flex that because you have all this material supporting it. Here, it's just a little thin kind of piece. So I'm not sure about that one either. And this one might work, honestly, if I put that strip on so that piece doesn't want to pop off. But then when it does pop off at some point, you're going to get dirt on it. It's just not going to stick all that well. So we'll see. This one is a Pataka. Comes in a nice magnetic case, which is kind of cool. And then you, open up each side. And you've got this carbon fiber. I think they say it's aramid. So we have a little thank you card in there. Don't know what that is. Thanking me for buying it. Removing the case, how to put it on. All right. This one I hear great things about. This one I guess also has something magnetic you can put in there. I don't use that. Ooh, I like how slim that is. That is really, it adds just a little bit of a lip. It doesn't interfere with the camera and the lens cover that I put on. That's nice. This snaps on the front. And I have a feeling it's just going to need... I like the way that snaps on it. Move. Oh, that doesn't... This is the case. This is the one you want. I can tell this already. So we get that in there. I'm going to go ahead and use that adhesive stripe. This is nice, either polished aluminum or steel. This is actually fairly robust. I'm not worried about that edge getting scratched that much. Boom. Oh, that's cool. So I've got, this has a screen protector that's already applied, but it is a softer screen. It's a different kind of glass. It's soft. It's bendable. The biggest thing with the foldables you have to be careful about is if you're out and it's dusty and dirty, or you're at the beach, you want to be careful because you get sand in there and then you close it, you are going to scratch the shit out of your screen. That's the downside to foldables as far as I'm concerned. But this fits really nice and it doesn't add a lot of bulk. So here, let's look at it side to side. This is a regular Pixel 7 in a whatever, who makes this case, I don't know. If it might be Spigen or, one of those name brands. This is thicker, but it's a little shorter. It's barely any wider. It really, it's an amazing piece of engineering. So it feels a little thicker and a little heavier in your pocket, whatever. I'm a big guy. I'm not worried about that stuff. There's also something that happens with the animations. When you unlock it, it's like a... You see that? That's cool. There's like little animations and things like that. Graphics are smooth and sweet. The screens are brilliant. I like the way that case fits. So my microphone's open, my camera's protected between the glass protector I have on it and that little bumper. I like that they didn't go overboard. Like this is like a big bump. You can see how much that sticks out, which makes the bump that much bigger. This is very slick. I can't wait to get more into this. This is still just an early review unboxing. I'm just going to lump this in as part of the unboxing video, and what cases I've tried and I'd like. I'm going to go ahead and apply the adhesive strip because that Pitaka, that is a really, really cool case. It's aramid fibers, so it feels basically like carbon fiber, but it's, instead of being that hard, slick, almost like enamel on the outside of carbon fiber typically, it has almost like a rubbery feel. So all the corners are protected, but you have easy access to the fingerprint scanner and the volume rockers. You can feel exactly right where they are. That's a really nice case. Those I want to say were like 45 or $50. Well worth the money. It really is nice. So this is going to be awesome. So I need to log into all my accounts and start playing with everything and let the battery settle in because I'm sure it's still doing optimizing and stuff in the background. So what I'll do is I'm going to wait a week and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about this. We're going to report, what did I find? What did I like? I'm sure there will be things I don't like. There's no phone that's perfect. I've had amazing luck. Like my Apple iPhone 13 Pro was a phenomenal phone. I just wanted to go back to Android. But as far as like just having a phone goes, it was awesome. It was a great phone. But like everything, there's limitations. There's some things that annoy you. There's some things where you're like, they've been doing it this way for 10 years and there's better ways to do it. And then they don't want to, they haven't updated it or anything like that. There's those kinds of things. I am sure that this phone will be no different. I'm going to go plug it into my car in a bit, play with Android Auto, see how that all works. But, that Pataki case, that's going to be my vote so far out of the ones. I think I have another one or two coming in the mail. But out of those three cases, man, that thing just went right on. In fact, let's just go ahead and apply the strip. Let's pop this off. I like that it takes a little more pressure. That's a nice tight fit. That's not going to just pop off like some of the other ones. So let's make sure that edge is clean. We got no lint on it. Let us very carefully peel off the adhesive. All right, we're going to use the knife again because I got big man hands and I don't have little tiny fingernails. Love that knife. All right, so that's going to go on that side. I'm going to press the phone in. on and press that and let it sit for a little bit, because that adhesive will cure a little bit and bond a little bit better over time. But that is awesome. So cool. Such a cool phone. I like that it's just not cumbersome. I've always said, like, I like the iPads. I had an iPad Pro, the 12 or 13-inch one. And it's awesome when you have a cradle or something, but it's so big that you're trying to hold the thing and do typing on it. And the keyboard's like this freaking wide, so your thumbs don't reach to the middle of the keyboard and stuff. So something like this that meets that middle of the road need, it fills that iPad mini where you just want to sit there. I'm not putting it 20 feet away from me, right? It's right here. I want to watch a movie or something, or I want to, do whatever. I want to, I got an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, you think about productivity and work and stuff, having a bigger screen here and not trying to work on just that screen. Your boss sends you an Excel spreadsheet and you got to do something and you're trying to, zoom and zoom out and move all around, viewing websites and things. I mean, if I go, okay, enhance privacy, got it. Let's just go to Fox News. Faux news, man. All right, so let's go to a website. Oh, Trump's in more trouble. Oh boy, protesters. All right, we're not going to talk about the news because my politics may or may not align with yours. But let's do this. Dunk. So now it's like, I mean, look at the difference in that. Tilted on its side. I mean, being able to read, and use a website more like a desktop environment where you're not scrolling left, right, up and down, zoom in, zoom out, because you can't see the whole page the way it was meant to be viewed. I mean, this is awesome. I like this. I like it a lot. That looks like it would look on my MacBook. Interesting. Blacks for Trump. Huh. Anyway, the screen is bright and brilliant. I've got the brightness at 90%. That might be a little high, although it's dark out because we're about to get slammed with a storm. But here, I can just go here and let's see. Where's my settings? Well, that's a difference. So there are some optimizations and things. Oh, no, it's right here at the top. Again, there's things have moved a little bit. When it's in this, they rearrange it when it knows it, when you're in tablet mode. So that is a bright screen. So let's go back. Yeah, I mean that is really bright, man. That's probably gonna kill my battery. Drop it down to like 90 or something. But this is fantastic. This is an absolutely, and I know it's early on. Let's see what the brightness is. Here's another thing I like about having the side by side. When you're in the menus, normally you go in and out and back up. But here it's like, okay, if I want to go over to storage and see what's going on, and then I can do stuff over here. But I don't lose sight of where I started. It's not this backing up, go forward, go backward. So I want to come up here and bump that up to 89, bump that up to 90. Yeah, that's very cool. Battery usage, adaptive preferences. There's lots of cool stuff. I'm going to dive into a lot of this stuff later. Doing your customizations, you got your wallpapers, you got your widgets. And unlike, iOS, there's just not a lot of widgets. Here, I mean, look at how many widgets. Every app you install, my Weber grill, visual voicemail, my insurance. I can have a widget right there that I can just scroll at any time I get pulled over on my bike, and I can just scroll through and here's my insurance card, Mr. Officer. All that stuff. I mean, it's you just have so much flexibility here, but it's not hard. I mean, that's the thing. Apple gets the reputation. Everyone's like, oh, it just works. It just works. No, it doesn't. I mean, it does and it doesn't. In a lot of ways, Android is easier to use. There's a lot of really cool things that they have done here to make the experience simpler to use. You can do more things. What did I do? Oh, I just rewound it. I accidentally hit the button. But anyway. Look at how it's just smooth and fluid that is. This is an awesome phone. I mean, you got like a there's two guys, a white guy and a black guy. The black guy is Will from Lost, or Walt. Sorry, Walt, the kid from Lost, the little black kid, Michael's son. He ended up getting into music. Very cool. I got to go set up my playlist. Did I copy them over? No. I got to have one in here for country, one for 80s music. But man, I'm definitely digging this. I like having this big screen when I want to get more work done. But most of the time, when you're just sitting here and you just want to make a phone call or check a text real quick or something like that, it's like, boom. Very cool. Awesome, awesome. We're going to do some more videos on this. This is just getting started, folks.